Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Duh. I'm so dumb. That's like the first thing I need to do is click. Like, we're gonna I always mute it so that you don't hear me talking when it's doing the intro thing. Yeah. I'm dumb. Okay. Let's start this over. All right, charts. E-mini higher. Treasuries higher. Everything's higher. I'm surprised treasuries are up overnight, but they didn't beat yesterday's high yet. E-mini is kind of starting to struggle a little bit. I mean, there was this stuff on the 14th. That was the trade deal day, of course. Was it? I think it was, yeah. And then yesterday, we had a good move up, but this is where we were trying to take a short, and, it did eventually come, but not until much later in the day. But then overnight, higher. Now the earnings are good. Hey, good morning, Ron. And thanks, Uzi, for alerting to me that I was making a fool of myself by being muted. So, anyways, it's kind of an interesting setup. I'm not. I don't know. So today we got impeachment beginning, right? Nancy finally passed articles of impeachment onto the Senate. Apparently, the reason they had to delay things was so that she could order special pens for the signing. Coffee. Yeah, you know what? I woke up today. I did not want to get out of bed. I mean, I always want to trade, but I wanted to keep sleeping. I just didn't feel like I slept very well last night. I got in bed a little later than I typically like. I might have had a slight overextension there, by the way. That was just on the open, but anyways, yeah, it's just that's the way it is. I think that I want to change my workspace up, by the way. Uzi, I'm bullish ZB today. But we reversed off the 58.25 value target upside, so I think I'm going to sit unless we can maintain above that level. 25. Yes, I see. Okay. Anyways, I'm thinking that I want to change my workspace up a little bit. I was just thinking, so yesterday, yeah, that's right. Okay. Now let's come back and look at the volume profile one. So here's the... Oh, did it not? Oh. The volume profile one did not save. Or it's not reloading, at least. And then one range one also. Well, that's not particularly useful. I'm just noticing I never look at these ones. So I'm going to close these. I think what I want to do is I want to duplicate this in a new tab. Do I want it in a new tab? I don't think I want it in a new tab. Yeah. New window. We're going to close this and this. I think that the 1 minute charts are way better. Uzi, I did get my long yesterday way late in the day for me at like 1:30. Oh, really? Make sure the reader is on here. So I'm going to make this one ZB. There was a lot of clicks there. We moved down quick.
Uzi Knesset says the most agonizing 8 ticks I've ever taken, haha.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, anything after lunch, I find difficult, let's say. Okay, so this one is going to be the 5-year. ZF. Okay. Wow, something going on. Oh, we had the news at 6:30. That's right. Jobs numbers. What we got here? Boom, 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 boom. Core retail sales. Oh, I didn't realize it was core retail sales. Spot 7 versus spot 5. That's just how off I am. Retail sales, spot 3 versus spot 3. Unemployment claims, 204,000 versus 217,000. So all pretty good numbers all around, actually. I'm seeing possibly my spot, though. Well, it's hard to judge in news, isn't it? But look, it took a step back. Okay, so anyways, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move all these over to here. Here's my ZN one. And I'm going to move the ES over here like this. So I'm going to make it split half and half. Still, this one's a little bit larger. Okay, even lower there. All right. So now I can zoom it in really good and get a really good view of what's going on. And on this, I'm going to duplicate in a new tab. Good down move. This one, I'm going to make it 10 seconds. Let's do 10 seconds. I want to see if I see something different on a 10-second time frame. Because the E-mini can move, you know? All right. And then this way we can always we can still pull these ones up, right? And I can still see my Vista chart, although you guys can't see it. It's hidden by me. And here's like the ZF. I could maybe move the ZF over here. Actually, I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to make this smaller because I don't need that much space. And I'm going to put this here. ZF. ZB. Where's the ZB? ZB, I'm going to move over here. Actually, I want. No, I think I care more about the ZF one. Okay. There we go. That's our change to the workspace for now. And if we decide we don't like it, we can change it. Okay, so they are at the low of the day now. Wondering here, when we look at our volume profile, I think there's a really good chance it could touch 08. Just from a volume perspective. You know, I've been thinking about it the other day. So I was watching a webinar, and it was kind of like it was a really inspiring webinar, but it was also kind of useless. Excuse me. And this webinar was like a quant trader. It was on Futures.io. I forget what his name was, but he was saying that like professional traders, they don't think about like, here's my signal and it can go this far and there's this price could potentially be touched or anything like that. He said that they think of it like, here's the price that it is right now and here's what I think it should be. So perhaps sitting down and saying 08 is possible to touch is not necessarily a helpful way of doing it. The real question is, what is this actually worth? I feel, even though the numbers are really good, there is a reason for them to be elevated a little bit. So they could rotate around all over in here. I don't think that 05 would be overvalued. So, but I don't think that it needs to be at 05. So I think I'm just going to kind of sit here and watch this and see if I get a price aberration that I feel provides me opportunity. So a little bit more action there. I'm just keeping an eye on this to see if on a 1 minute basis there is significant differences between the three instruments. If there's not, I'm going to ditch the ZF and ZB ones. There's the lower. My. There's some pretty big bids they came through too. Wow. Oh yeah, we need to open up Discord over here. See what they said.
Uzi
What was the
Knesset
Philly
says
Fed?
CB's hourly candle is a big yikes lol.
Ooh, the Philly Fed was 17 versus 3.7. So that's why they're reacting as strongly as they are. On one hand, though, I'm not particularly shocked that they had that many. In my opinion, too many wrong bulls. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I mean, was there really a bunch of people betting that the like the manufacturing data and everything else like that today was going to be bad? A little surprised. And we came down 15,000 contracts. I'm not reading anything that tells me that they have to turn. That they've gone too far or anything. I do see that, on the time frames that everything is red in the treasury. So where do we get oh, I don't have that indicator on there. I should add it. IRTFC levels. Okay. So O3 half would be the week, I believe. It was O3 half, right? Yes.
Uzi Knesset says 09 midpoint of yesterday, so line in the sand on my bias.
I missed the K there. Same. '09 was the midpoint of yesterday. So it takes it to go all the way to '09 before you're really bearish.
Uzi Knesset says in ZB, not CN lol.
Well, yeah. I know, I understand. If you say '09, I know you're talking ZB. If you said '90, then I knew you were talking ZN. There's a little bit lower again.
Uzi Knesset says looks like we're flippin' astonished face.
Flipping down below it. There's some low liquidity there at 06. Has it been like that the whole time? Not quite.
IQ says 07, 06 should be support ZB.
Okay. I'm just noticing here. I'm tempted to sell it at 06 half, although that's not my signal, so I'm not going
Uzi
to.
Knesset says all week selling highs has been a no-no, so the only insight I'd have had today into going short is selling up near that 58.25. Given the way the week has been, I wasn't gonna risk it.
I feel like that because there's the liquidity is so light and they're trading so much that there's a really good chance that they could trade 06 half and 6. But look, there's iceberging at 06 half. So that is a trap. Oh, I forgot to restart yesterday. Just Seth. Okay, so that's a little bit of a spike here. Just make sure I got everything set up here correctly. Yep, okay. Okay. Hmm. Trade really died down here. There was a bit of a spike, and there was that iceberg, and we came back up, and now it's dead. Okay. Some people hitting into '07 pretty aggressively. Already '07 half kind of pulling and flipping. 3,000 at '07, huh? Seems last days were only dumb anticipation. Could be. Come on. Yeah, that '07 half's not pulling out of the
Dream
way.
Driven says DRRX halted due to FDA discuss with committee.
Huh. I wish I cared about stocks, Dream Driven. It seems like useful information, though. Are they going to do it or not? Interesting that when they start stacking, they both start stacking. I'm seeing like...
Uzi Knesset says offers stacking at 09.
So do you see that at '07 there was like 1,600 and they started... Oh, okay, there you go. There we go. Thank you. That one worked really well, actually. I mean, it took a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but that one worked
Uzi
like
Knesset
a dream.
says there we go lol.
Yeah. But did you notice when they were stacking at '07, they were like at 1,400 and they stacked to 1,700. And then the '07 half went from like 1,900 to 22. They both stacked. And then they both pulled. And that was then when the bid at '07 was like, all right, we've had enough of this. And they put the 25 on there. And then we knew we were going to get filled on. So that was interesting the way that turned out. And it was kind of interesting. But I tell you what, that trade works really well when you're only looking for 2 ticks, doesn't it? Well, lately it's worked really well. I think,
Dream Driven says, "Are you talking to me?"
No. Well, the only thing that I said was directed towards you, Dream Driven, was that it seems like some good market moving information, but I only trade macro stuff here, so I can't necessarily use any information off of a specific company. Anyways, yeah, I've kind of been running off of a theory here that it looks to me like gamma on the indexes is really, really low. That we're seeing average true range starting to contract, and we're going to be seeing some slowdown. We're going to be seeing some slowing down of the economy this year. Yeah, no problem. Not like we're going to go negative, but it's probably going to be another fairly sideways year. So, in that kind of an environment, some of the runs that we were seeing in like October that I just absolutely love to trade, I'm not so sure that I can get those. You know what I mean? So these kinds of trades that are only looking for a little bit based off of a mispricing, I think will prove to
Uzi
be really
Knesset says
useful.
gotta hold a bid above '09 for me to consider buying. I think it ain't gonna happen lol.
They got to make it back above '09. Well, look, when they came back up and they filled me, it's already back to '06 half. So that to me, and look at the '07 was 5,000. That was, where did we trade? Again, we did '06 half to '07 half. So that '07 half did go bid at some point. So that 5,000 iceberg was on the way back down.
Uzi Knesset says plenty of sellers down here for a possible
Yeah.
push.
So I got my overextension, but it looks like that they're totally ready to just go again. And in fact, we're seeing the level 2 increase a little bit. Like the overall liquidity is stacking again. Which probably means that they want their fills down at '06. Okay. I do see some slight differences between the 5-year and the 10-year. Like right there, the 5-year seems to be suggesting a turn, but I can't tell what direction it is. We're not really moving a whole lot right here. So I don't know what that means. It could be a lower one, but I don't think that I can read that one as that I should take that as a river, that I should fade that like I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. Man, I wonder if I'm just getting sick again. I feel sleepy. I don't feel very good. The E-mini, by the way. Not much change at all, huh? We are getting an inside bar here. It's been 15
IQ
minutes
says
now.
Uzi talking ZB and you're talking ZN lol.
Yeah, he is. The same difference. '09, right? He said '09.
Uzi Knesset says bah they both do the same thing lol.
Not only did they both do the same thing, but they're really close
Ace
in
Trade
price
says
right now.
I'm just listening on my phone. Morning.
Good morning, Ace. They're unusually close. It is quite weird to see the 10-year at '06 half and ZB at '06 '07. This is not usual that they're that close. Normally there's like no confusion which one you're talking about because they're completely opposite ends of the spectrum. So the 5-year, another little tick up there. One that I might be able to fade, in fact.
Uzi Knesset says another attempt at 09.
Yeah. They appear to be moving because the E-mini is doing something. Like a bunch of orders showed
Uzi
up there.
Knesset says who will win the epic battle of digits? Lol.
Right. Right. Oh my gosh. Speaking of epic battles, did you guys see this thing? After the Democrat debate the other day, Elizabeth Warren came up to Bernie Sanders and she said, "I think you just called me a liar on national television." And Bernie was like, "Let's not do that here." And then CNN had the mic on them, so they leaked it. And so now there's this huge thing about who do you believe, Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren? Bernie says that he never said that a woman can't be president or beat Donald Trump. And Elizabeth Warren says that he did say that. I'm going to guess that Bernie Sanders probably said something to that effect. Well, he admitted to saying that, he thinks that
Uzi
Trump
Knesset
is going
says
to
I
be
tend not to
used
believe
misogynistic
politicians.
stuff.
Lol.
Yeah, but which one do you get? So you want to believe that which
Uzi
one?
Knesset says like in general, haha.
Right? Well, which one is lying, or are they both lying? I bet you that they both think that they're telling the truth. Oh my gosh! Oh, I just had this thought. No, you know what? I don't know if I want to share that one. It seems to me that Elizabeth Warren being in a conversation like that and not really listening to what Bernie Sanders was saying and coming out of it believing that he thought that a woman can't be president, even though that was not what the point that he was trying to make, sounds totally like Elizabeth Warren. That sounds like just exactly what she would do, and is exactly why I don't think that she would make a good president, So look at that. They were able to make 07 half go bid again. There's some iceberging there. I think that they might take a little bit more of a step up, but what I would be concerned about is them coming back up here to like 08 half 09 and then it just going dead and finding out that they just don't have
Uzi Knesset says I mean, not for nothing but Warren has been caught in several ridiculously trivial lies. Lol.
Right? I mean that's a really good point. Well, and the bigger thing in the like trying to analyze who benefits and who doesn't from this. Excuse me. Elizabeth Warren absolutely loses in this, even if she's not lying, because she leaked it. She's the one that's making a big deal out of it, and everybody in the Democrat Party is all, "Oh no, we're not unified," which I think is so funny. Like they gave Bernie Sanders one tough question. They gave him one tough question, and they're throwing a fit, which says to me that they weren't too happy with how Bernie Sanders handled the debate, by the way. I mean, the Republicans always complain about the media no matter what, but the Democrats, when the Democrats complain about the media, it's only because it hurt their candidate.
Knesset says lying about what you gonna do as president is business as usual. Lying about being a Native American or being fired from a job for being pregnant are both just stupid things to lie about. Lol.
Yeah, totally. Totally. So everybody's really upset. Like the thing is that because Bernie Sanders is like the true progressive cause, it doesn't matter whether what she says is true or not. People are going to be upset at her for hurting the progressive cause. You know what I mean? So you can see we're coming up here. Activity dying off a little bit. Oh man, I didn't put socks on today because I thought I could handle it. And I didn't want to rifle through the hamper. But now
Uzi
my feet are
Knesset
cold.
says you can't hurt the progressive cause. That shit's coming like a bullet to the dome.
Oh man. Okay, so now that we're above 09, how do you feel about it? I'm kind of looking at the cumulative delta. It's
IQ
still
says who
just in
da fuck
pullback
gives a shit what they
territory.
say, all of them is demented.
Well, I just think it's such a funny thing because who do you believe? Who is actually telling the truth in that thing? Because I think they would both lie. The thing is when it first came up, everybody
Uzi
said
Knesset says let's
that
see how the next hour kicks off.
okay. Everybody was for sure saying that, oh yeah, like Bernie would never say that. Elizabeth Warren must be lying. But then for Elizabeth Warren to, in what she might have believed was a private conversation, say that to Bernie. I don't know if she knew that it would be private or not. Maybe she really wanted CNN to hear them have that exchange. I don't know. But, you know, for her to say that, that kind of makes me feel like that she must believe what she's saying.
JB says 50% retrace on that ZB move would test 158.15.
Okay. Well, I am not seeing anything that tells me that we have to continue down. Like I was looking there, like maybe we could go to 03.5. That would be the start of the week. I saw the short-term change from 06 to 07.5. We're now at 08. When I get a reversal like that, it's not uncommon for it to go for, 8 ticks or whatever. But I do see that activity is trailing off there a little bit. So what we may need to come back down a little bit and also have, a lack of interest before they realize which direction is truly, the what is it? The least resistance, I guess. I am kind of, I don't know. I don't see anything that gives me a really good edge either direction. Okay, so there was a ton of orders moving around there on that one. What was that? That was a bunch of stuff happening between 06 and 08. Okay. So that was probably an algorithm being upset that it's not being filled at 06. I think you guys might be right. We might retrace that move back up to 15. I think though, I need to go get socks. All right, I'll be right back.
IQ says 155 to 14 equals POC. IQ says oops 158 to 14.
Let's see here. IQ 155, 14 equals point of control. Hmm. Still where they were, huh? Oh, it really kind of died off here, didn't it? Well, I tell you what. When I look at this chart here, right? Okay. This is the range that we were in yesterday. We're still within yesterday's range. That was a pretty good Philly number. 17. Pretty good. Way better than some of these other numbers that we've had. So can they really sustain these levels? I don't know. Also, I'm noticing the 2 and 10-year spread there is moving. What about the flattening? Just a little. It's kind of a little skiwampus, actually. Kind of makes me wonder if this range here is really sustainable in the long term. But when I look at like the volume and the number of like short-term orders that we're putting out there and everything, it kind of looks to me like that for the time being, we're going to have a really hard time moving away from this particular location. I'm wondering if it's just going to be really dead for the next 30 minutes, and then maybe if the E-mini decides to move up, maybe if the E-mini moves up on the open, then maybe they could maybe have another move down, and otherwise they might just settle somewhere around in here. I really don't feel good this morning, guys. Like I feel nauseous.
IQ says absorption 10,000 plus at 09.
Like I don't want to go into work. Like I just want to sleep. I don't know. Right now, right now I feel like sleeping. And I'm usually wide awake when I'm trading and I'm talking to you guys. There was 10,000. There was 1,000 in
Knesset says 0910 is the octagon lol.
You said 10,000. I was like, no. No. I tell you what, by the way, another thing I should point out. Here's my volume chart again. Look at the right side there. What is the point of control for this volume range? It's right there where we're at, around 09 or so. Zoom in here, see if we can figure out what the exact
JB says good news 09. If you stay home, maybe you can suffer through helping me finish at price pivots. Indie grinning face with big eyes.
Right. That might be a good idea. If I stay home though, it would not be until later in the day. But like we just have 2 if statements to write, I think, and then probably we'll run into all sorts of weird edge cases that we can handle then, but they're probably not too hard to finish. No, like my stomach kind of feels unhappy. Actually, you know what? Last night I was like getting heartburn, which I didn't understand because
Uzi Knesset says what you guys trying to code?
I ate plenty of food. So, do I have it on here? Yeah, I do. So here you see on this chart, I have a little arrow above the highest the highest point there. Oh man, I hate all of this text. I wish that there was an option to just turn that off. Like, I know that I can come in here
JB
and
says that
do
would be
the
sweet. Your
indicators.
NT8 followers will be thankful.
I know that I can come in here and I can change the label on all of these and get rid of the labels. But it just really frustrates me that I have to do that. You know what I mean? Price pivots is the indicator that we're making. There we go. Okay, so you see how there's a little arrow up above that one? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to identify local high and
IQ
local
says
low.
10,000.
And then when we get a bar that closes below the previous bar's low, so right here, I think.
IQ says too many zeros, lol.
Right here, then at that point, it would say this is a confirmed pivot, and it will draw a line coming off from there. And this was an indicator that they had written in NinjaTrader 7 that our code, I think, is going to be a lot more simple, but there's so many features that they have on it. Did you see that on the indicator window?
Uzi Knesset says
Look at all those man, John. You when you guys wrote stuff, you sure did put the
JB
features
says
in.
no 4 bars to the right of the one you looked at.
Oh, four to the right. This one right here. Oh, because it didn't close below it. No, you're right. You're right. It has to close below the low, so it wouldn't be a pivot until here. Yep. Similarly,
JB says yep.
Similarly, here would be pivot low candidate, but then do you get a close higher? I don't think any of these do. Then you get a lower low there. And then here, or maybe here. I think here actually it would be confirmed pivot low. This one. Okay, pivot low.
JB says correct.
Anyways, and then it'll draw the line, and then when it gets taken out, it'll just show the line from here to here or whatever it is. So we got the part that identifies the high, and we're able to do it with timestamps, which makes the indicator a lot easier to write.
Uzi Knesset says look like this gal gonna make us wait till equity open confused face.
Ain't she like that? I mean, I love her, I really do, but sometimes she can be really inconsiderate.
Uzi Knesset says just making love to 0910.
Oh yeah. Or you could try taking one tick there. No, I don't want it. You know what? So I have this thought because I really don't think that one tick in ZN as a retail trader is a very good trade. But this 2-tick thing, if we keep the win rate up.
JB says S is running on forever high mode this week.
Right. I actually think that we might get a little bit pullback today. Because who really wants to be taking new positions when the impeachment is going on? You know what I mean? Like everything else is gone. Well, let's think about this for a second, because the trade deal thing is gone, but now I'm seeing a lot of people saying, "Oh, trade probably isn't going to be all that great for the near term." So you're getting that.
Uzi Knesset says I can do 1 ticks in ZB pretty consistently, but I do need a general direction at least, haha.
Sure. Well, I was going to say, I think that to do 1 tick, well, the problem with 1 tick is to get one tick and it never go against you is really hard. It's really hard as a retail trader, at least. And I could really only see myself doing it when it's moving really good, you know? So that means that if you're going to go for one tick, you might have to have a 2-tick stop. So you might lose 2 or even 3 ticks on
Uzi
slippage
Knesset
when you
says
lose.
one tick in consolidation is hard as hell, though.
Yeah. And so to get one to just go for one tick in that situation, I did the math, and if I recall correctly, you have to have a win rate of like 80%, which doesn't really jive, right? But with 2 ticks I think is a reasonable stop. Like on the trade that I have, my stats say that generally speaking, it's not going to go more than 2 against you. So could I take 2 ticks, 2-tick target, 2-tick stop, and get 75% win rate? That would be a winning strategy. I guess we'll see here. So far, it's been better than 75%, right? Interestingly, though, I watched a lot of videos yesterday. And I was watching a video from Peter Davies identifying some setups. Setups that we use,
Harlequin
actually.
says don't use stop and you can't lose. It is that easy.
And he was saying that most of the discretionary proprietary traders out there, the ones that are, outright making bets, tend to go for trades that have a really high risk to reward and not necessarily a very good probability. Which makes sense. That kind of made me think, should I just be doing like a hard 2-tick stop, and I should be going for 6 to 8? And my problem is more that when I'm losing, sometimes I'm letting it go to -4. Is maybe that the problem? Or not the problem, but I mean, would that work better? Maybe we can try that at some point too. It makes me sleepy thinking about it. The thing that I thought was useful for the webinar that
JB says yep, definitely need to kill losers small.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the problem is that just sometimes we get those zones, like where they'll chop around in a 4-tick range. Ugh. And I have a tendency to take a lot of trades in those areas for some reason.
Harlequin says most of the Axia guys look on bigger time frames and look for bigger time frame plays, like break out of a range, aiming for bigger moves.
Yeah. Oh well, and I was thinking about on my E-mini trades, because we were doing really well on the E-mini, and then after we weren't able to trade treasuries live, and said maybe we should focus on micros for a little bit. And so I was taking trades more often in the E-mini, and it hasn't been going very well.
Uzi Knesset says I went from 2-tick stop 1-tick target to 8 for 8. Now I do 3-tick stop for as much as possible. Lol.
Huh. Yeah. I mean, I always tried to be like 2-tick stop, but I always put the actual stop
JB
at
says
4.
zones? You mean sloppy, lazy entry zones.
Yeah, the spot where Seth seems to think that it's going to run and it just hops around and then he falls for it 6 times in a row. Those spots.
Uzi Knesset says oof lol.
Yeah. Anyways, I haven't been doing so well in the E-mini, and I think it's because when I was doing well, I was only trading the E-mini when like something was really happening, And so I was catching those big moves, and I tend to be okay at, when it's momentum, picking a spot and just hands off and letting it run. Now we've been in this place where it's not doing that, and not only that, but the range is consolidating, and so we're getting trades where really you have to take the 10, and I want more, and it doesn't work.
Harlequin says I don't use fixed stop. I adjust it based on volatility. Usually it is like 5 to 7 ticks with higher volatility, at most 10 to 11 ticks. Ace Trades says give me a day, we will get you back in the green on the S.
I don't know, Ace. Well, so I want to trade the micros on Sim for a little bit, but I think that we've have been having a problem there because I'm taking 10 and 10. Like I'm putting my stop at 10 and letting it go to 10, and you're not. You're letting it go 4 and then trying to catch the runners. And I was saying, well, I can't necessarily catch the runner because I only want to use one contract. So the math doesn't necessarily work out, right? So, thoughts, options. We could 4-tick stop, 8-tick target, and just be done with it. And if we really do get that 75% of the time, then we're golden and we'll make money. Option, although lately that the win rate on it hasn't been 75%, it's been more like it's been close to 50, hasn't it? I take that back.
Lover says HAGD, thumbs up.
When I'm looking for more than 10, the win rate has not been over 50%. Hey, Algo Lover.
JB says, why would you only use one contract on the micros?
Yeah.
Harlequin says yesterday you didn't let it hit 10 ticks, you moved your stop, at least on your short, and could have had break even.
Yeah, you're right. I moved it, I took -4, and if I had given it, let it breathe a little bit more, I could have broken even. You're right. But if I just had a straight stop out at 4, then I would have been stopped out. I'm noticing a lot that on my losers in the E-mini that I don't get any
Algo Lover says
favorable ticks.
7:56 a.m. Algo Lover S. If buyers maintain bid above 3,299, then 3,310 target. If 3,299 breaks before that target trades, then anticipate a deeper pullback, nerd face.
Okay.
Ace Trade says 1 point a day, add a second contract after a month. Uzi Knesset says if I were trading micros I'd average into a reasonable total within volatility parameters.
Okay, wait. So, Ace, are you saying that I should just do 1-tick target, 1-tick stop? Is that kind of what you're suggesting there? Because I've thought about that too. I think that we tend to be able to get at least 1 point. But I also think that I need to do a little bit more
Ace Trade
research.
says 1 point. 4 ticks. Harlequin says at UZI Knesset yep seems reasonable, also scale out. Like yesterday, take out one contract at 12 ticks would have been really good. Let the other run if you want.
Oh yeah. Well, I would like to do so that was option number 2 is trade 3 contracts, have one contract take it off at the 1 point, and another one take it off at 2 points, and then let the last one run.
JB says why not try a 3 or 5 lot? A 5 lot micro would give you 2 lot exits with profit and leave you with one runner for less than a 1/2 lot of dollar risk than the mini.
Yeah.
Algo Lover says as you see the 3,298 target traded yesterday off the RTH open winking face.
Yeah, I did. If that
I like says at Harlequin yeah. Totally don't have the capital to do it in ZB though haha.
Yeah, well, we could do it in micros. I think that to feel comfortable doing that in micros, I'd want to add a little bit more money, but and that's the other thing is like I think that we're in a position where we can kind of experiment a little bit again, right? I don't have to trade it live all the time. I mean, I want to, but I was just thinking about it last night and I'm like, why do you want to do it so bad? Especially if you're not 100% confident in what you're doing at the moment, you know? We can trade it sim and practice managing the multiple contracts, and then when we have a little bit of you know, what is the word, we have a little bit of data under our belts from our from real-time testing of it, then I add some more in and we could take it with 3 contracts, and it would supposedly it's easier with multiple contracts. Now here's the question is, if I stop out, I just stop out all 3 at -4, right? Which means that my average loser is going to be 3 points, right? My average loser is going to be 12 ticks. So my average winner has to be more than that. So if I'm taking one off at 1 point and one off at 2 points, right? I have to make it
Harlequin
go
says experiment.
further.
Here ya. Go all in 1,000 lot shorts in the micro. Could be the trade of the century or the trade into bankruptcy.
YOLO.
Hashtag YOLO.
But I have to make it has to go at least 2 points for me to break even. Or not break even, but to be equal. And then it has to run for me to actually make money. So I don't understand the scaling strategy from that
Uzi
perspective.
says hashtag Wall Street bets.
Does that make sense, guys? Right? Like if I'm taking all 3 off here, does that maybe if I draw it, I feel like that I must be making a mistake because we've always been saying that you can get better probability by trading multiple
set
contracts.
Your first 2 lot to scale out at 4 ticks, 1 point. Bring your protective stop to break even plus 1 tick after the trade goes plus 5 ticks in profit. Take your second 2 lot off at plus 8 ticks. JB says move your stop on the last lot to entry plus 4 ticks.
Okay, hold on. What do you mean set your first 2 lot? So you're saying we're trading 3, right? You're saying that I have. So here we are in the E-mini. Let's do it right here. So say we buy here, okay? Say we buy here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we should put a sell order here for 2 contracts.
JB says and leave your runner on.
For 2 contracts, and then let the one run, right? And then here, 1, 2, 3, 4, we have our stop for 3, right? Is that what? And then the 1 would just be, whatever it is that we can
JB
get.
says I was talking about a 5 lot entry to start.
A 5 lot entry to start. Okay. So you're saying set 2 to scale out at 4. And take your other 2 off at 1, 2, 3. Okay. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2. And then 1 is up there like that, right? And then this down here is 5. Is that what you're saying? That's how it would be initially, at least.
JB says when the trade first goes on, yes.
Okay. So here's what I'm saying and why I kind of don't understand how this gives you a better probability. Okay.
Harlequin says TBH I'm not that big of a fan to always scale out on fixed targets, on a normal day sure, but if you have a higher volatility day, you easily can aim for bigger targets.
Sure.
Ace Trade says 2 minutes.
Well, we're kind of still in the academic phase here, because I really don't understand scaling contracts. I really don't think I understand it at all. So here's my conundrum, okay? I'm just going to say number of ticks on the overall trade. So if I take, 5 contracts and I go 4 ticks, then my average loss is minus 20, right? Okay. And then if I get it to here and I move things break even, if it gets to here, then my average win there is 8. And then if I get it to there,
JB says once
You
price
know?
hits your first target at 4 ticks, the ATM waits until price touches plus 5 ticks and then moves your protective stop up to entry plus 1.
This one is 22, right? Because you'll get the 8 from here, and then you get 16 from here. And, 24 rather. Blah, blah. This is 24, right? Am I right? And then this one is, 25 plus or whatever. Once price hits your first target at 4 ticks, the ATM waits until price touches plus 5 and then moves your protective stop up to entry plus 1. Sure. Well, let's go into those scenarios a bit later. But let's just assume if we get here.
Harlequin says seems a bit too aggressive to move it after 5 ticks to break even plus 1, unless it is a failed breakout play or something like that.
Okay. Well, let's hold on about the moving the stop though bit first. Okay. This one I'm saying, like, if we get the plus 4 on these and then it comes back to break even and I took it off, then on the trade I would make plus 8, right? If I got up to here and then it came back and I took the last contract off at break even, then I would get 24, right? Am I right? Because, I mean, the issue is that I see with this is that you need it to go a lot further.
Ace Trade says I agree with your math.
Okay. It seems to me that I need it to go a lot further for me to make more on my winners than I do on my losers. That's where I'm a little confused.
JB says yes, that would be correct.
Okay. So the problem is right now, if I just set it to be here would be 8 ticks. Right now I'm doing one contract and I'm just saying 8
Lulu
and 8.
says what are your thoughts on AMD have been holding since $15.63.
Ooh, you know what?
JB says 24 for 2 lots plus 4 and 2 lots plus 8.
Yes. Two lots plus 4, 8, and wait, I didn't understand what you said there. Let me answer Lulu's question here, and you guys keep talking. Keep giving me. So for AMD, like, I'm not really into individual stocks, but I think that AMD is a company that has a pretty good outlook right now. Like, just in the technology in general, it is so much better than what Intel is putting out right now. So I really like AMD as a company. I can't say that, like, what their stock price is in comparison to what the upside potential is. I'm a little bit wary about the macro environment for equities in the near term, because even though I see things moving up because of quantitative easing and low interest rates and things like that, the economy is likely to be, not grow a whole lot. And so you're going to see a lot of sideways action and, like, slow creeping up, which, is difficult for day traders and maybe not a huge issue if you're holding a long position. But, in that case, getting your price is going to be important. So if I was going to take any trade, I would be trying to catch it on a pullback. Anyways, back to this. So My issue right now is that if I look for 10 and I look for 10, like my probability is kind of iffy. You know what I mean? So like if I was getting 40%, let's do it like that, right? So 20 times 0.6, then 24 times 0.4, right?
Luis Alarid says AMD sell for sure when it hits 43.5, nice profit.
Like ignoring the runner, right? I'm being lazy here because my head hurts. 9.6. 9.6 minus 20 times 0.6. 12. So in that scenario, that's minus 2.4 is your expectancy on that. If we were only hitting a 40% win rate and we're ignoring the runner and the break, the moving it up to break even and all that stuff, right? So that's kind of where I'm a little concerned about how to do the scaling, especially since, especially if we're doing a 5 lot, we're risking a lot more, right? We're risking,
Lulu says I haven't really grasped what you're trading here.
we're risking $20 essentially.
Harlequin says Seth you asked who wanted to buy the Amini. Seems a lot of people lol, rip shorts.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. We're up like what, 4 points? I have no doubt that we could continue to drift up, but I think you're going to find it's going to be a little bit more rangy than it has been.
Luis Alarid says fast up usually fast down.
Notice they pushed 2 points up, and now they're back to where they started. I don't think that it's going to be a down day or anything like that. It's possible.
Luis Alarid says Lulu this room is futures. Harlequin says I mean including the overnight we broke yesterday's high by 9 points.
Well, now that's true. We're up pretty good overnight. Now that the treasuries have moved lower, that all, I think that that's all totally good now. When I came in and I saw that everything was higher, I was like, something's amiss. I don't know. So anyways, it seems to me that in the scenario that you've drawn out for me, JB, that the way that I get the better expectancy is by moving my stop up to break even. So I end up, I might only get this thing a lower percentage of the time, but the time in which I actually get hit the full stop out would be a lot less because I usually am able to move things up to break even. Right? That sounds to me like that's where the edge on that is coming from. Now, when I was reading it with Futures Trader 71 and his recommendation, it was something similar. But it had something to do also with that where your contracts were. His was like, if you were going to have a -4, then your first profit would be -3. And then you move that up to break even or something like that. So that your probability of at least getting something was a lot higher than it going into your stop. So I was kind of thinking about that when you were talking about it yesterday. Because I was thinking, okay, if I just pay for the cost of the trade, that's at +3. and I do it with 3 contracts. So one of them is going to be at 8 and one of them is a runner. And then this one is to -3. Then if I get the 8, that right there would be 12 and that would be 12. And because I'm taking the cost off of there and moving things up, the probability of getting this should be closer to 50%. And then maybe it works out, right? But I don't know. I've been trying to look for information about it, and I'm not finding very good, because and then that's the other issue, is that when I'm looking through things, I can very easily say, okay, 2 for 2, and here's the probability, and do all of the math. But when you do it with this one, there's like 6 different scenarios, because like there's a scenario where it comes up here and it comes back.
JB says just PM'd you a screenshot in Discord.
So how do you? Okay. Oh, it's a E-mini. Okay, so he's saying if you
Lulu
do
says
5
holy
lot.
shit. I had no idea you could make future trades along with options. I need to study up.
Oh yeah, there's options on futures. Look at that. That's a good up. Right there at 30375.
Luis Alarid says YM
Right there.
rising.
Okay, so there's your 3, right? There's the 3 stop. And try and fix this a little bit, because you can't see that it's a 3S. Okay. Okay. And then one of them is going to be at 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And one of them is going to be at 8. Like that.
Ace Trade says does AMP offer options?
I don't think that AMP does at the moment, but that might
Harlequin
change
says rip
in
the guy in your
future.
Discord who went swing short at 3,273 in the Amini.
Oh man, did somebody in the equities room go short? I don't really know the guys in the equities room really very well. I have been really impressed with the guys in interest rates. Are so smart. Oil and equities, I don't know. But it's a totally open room, so you could totally have people come in and make really dumb trades. And I don't know why you would want to go short. 32.73. Oh man, like that was way back there. Ugh. That's nasty. Okay. So do I have the scaling strategy correct so far?
Luis Alarid says $50 per contract cheap, no need for options IMHO. JB says for a longer term trade just use the prior hour's low for your protective stop on a long.
Sure. Well, that's more risk. I don't know. I really want to keep it small. Like when I think about it, I'm like, okay, let's just go a point for a point. $5 win, $5 lose. No big deal. But then when we start adding multiple contracts and everything, it very quickly turns into you're risking $20 a trade. And if it goes wrong, you could be wrong like 5 times in a day maybe, and you could lose $100 very quickly. Did I get the right price there? $7.75. I did. I have no clue if this is likely to work or not. Ding, 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 ding.
Harlequin says yeah, this David guy went short. His reasoning was that the sentiment was bullish and no one expects short, so it should drop. Also the market climbed too much and needed a correction.
Okay.
JB says using that prior hour's low for the stop, you'd still have a runner on in that screenshot I sent you.
I gotcha. So I took on that one and we were wrong. because we
Ace
only had a
Trade
4 tick
says Rip
stop, right?
David.
Yeah. Sorry, Dave. So that one didn't work. But that's the one where I'm worried about it, right? Is when I take all three on the stop, and because it's relatively likely to happen, and if that starts happening like, more than half the time, even more than 40% of the time, then I have problems, right? It seems to me that if I want to use that kind of a scaling strategy, that I need to have a stop that's a little bit bigger than 4 ticks. Because the 4 ticks is just way too likely to get hit.
JB says I was using a 10 tick stop to the low of the prior hour.
Yeah. See, I don't know if that works for me. Here it is again. Try it again. Mm-mm-mm.
JB says it's $62.50 of risk on the initial entry of a 5 lot.
Yeah. At
Ace
that
Trade
point,
says or we need to be precise with our entry. I don't think 10 tick stop is manageable for my risk tolerance.
no, I don't think so. Well, that one should have stopped out, shouldn't it?
JB says basically like 2 ticks in the ZB.
Yeah. Well, so the problem with that setup, JB, is at that point, why wouldn't I just trade one lot on the 10-year? you know? where I'm more confident in my ability to catch a good probability. So I'm just messing. I should have this one on the experimentation one. So let's do this the other way, right? Oh no, only one lot got filled. Okay. Okay. So now I got 3 on here. And
JB
we're
says because the
saying
10-year only goes 10 ticks in your favor when
1,
there's a
2,
nuclear
3,
meltdown or a
4.
tsunami. JB says dough.
Okay. That's 1 tick, 2 tick runner. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Uzi Knesset says lol.
Right? So I'm risking 15. If I get 1 point, probably I get 15. If I get that, I probably get 30 or more. See, that one, how is that working out differently? Because all we've done is just bring them in one. Oh, but it was because my first target is the same as my first stop. Hmm.
JB says looks like the S is puking here regardless.
Yeah, it's they could be doing all sorts of crazy, huh? Okay. No, didn't fill. The E-mini puked pretty hard
JB
there,
says they
but
added 2 ticks to the overnight high and puked. Uzi Knesset says I held on for dear life to an 05 short, killed at 03 lol.
I'm still not seeing anything in the treasuries that makes me really want to take it. I have to say that red candle just completely blowing out that open and everything is pretty ugly in it. I mean, I feel like they should continue through, but again, I think we're probably going to be pretty rangy, right? Probably it was way too late to that trade, but it would be nice if we could get one of these to
Harlequin
actually,
says shorting the low of the session is kinda risky if they don't go for an imminent breakout and
yeah,
just range there.
but I don't. I was just taking random ones just for as example. And I only took it there at that spot because it was a break of the green bar at the beginning of the session. That was like literally the only thinking behind it. And I'm probably too impulsive anyways. I'd like to think that I normally have put more thought into it than that, but whatever. Maybe I'm not. Okay. Oh, come on. I think if that was live, that would have been filled. Okay. Okay, so now I've gotten the 1, so I can take 1 off here, right? And I can move this to break even plus 1, right? Is that correct the way that we were saying to do it? No, looks likely to stop me out. Okay, so that's problem number 2, right? How likely is that one to happen? How come my indicator says that 305.25 is the start of the hour when the open was at 305.5? Okay, well, let's try it again. This time 3 ticks target, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 tick stop. Oops. Mm. So, again, now, like, how many times does that happen now? One, two, three. Three losers. One winner, one break even.
Harlequin says that is the same move that caught you yesterday. It made a low, consolidated and made a lower one but didn't follow through and then reversed. The second try is in my opinion the point to break even.
Yeah. Um. Anyways, so just as that, using those couple as an example, okay? Because I think that we were kind of on the gist of the way that we were saying that we want to scale. So what's the problem with all of that? The problem is that we're using a 4-tick stop, which is like 1/3 of the average range in the E-mini, and is extremely
Harlequin says you can
likely
see
to get
this in the
hit.
1 minute chart.
Which means our entry has to be really good. Now, if we're using Ace, if I can speak with Ace and he can give me a clearer idea of exactly what he takes so that I can watch it myself, and maybe we can get that probability. But with Seth being as impulsive and random as he is sometimes, I don't think that one's going to work. Sure was. It sure is rangy, isn't it? It's when it's choppy. Ugh. That burp made me feel a little bit better. You feeling me? Now, I wonder, do you guys have other ideas on ways to set your scaling strategy that are maybe better? Seems to me that the reason the scaling strategy gives you some edge is because you can move your stop. So when it hits, you don't not losing as much. But the problem is still that if you're taking them off.
Uzi Knesset says AAAAND we're back at 09. Gary Rich says Seth click your red heel shoes Dorothy, you might be onto a possible glass slipper Cinderella.
So Gary, do you you trade multiple contracts? How do you scale in and out? I know it's oil, so I wouldn't necessarily. It could be a lot of risk in oil. Oh man.
Harlequin says my scaling strategy is based on a higher target time frame. I only scale with that in mind. Let's say I am short in gold with 3 lots and see an important level like weekly low close by.
Sure. But I guess does your stop tend to be closer than your target?
Harlequin says I usually take off 2 contracts after my 10 to 15 tick normal target, move the last one to break even and see if it goes for the low.
Sure.
Luis Alarid says FYI
So
corn selling well.
what if I did
Harlequin
that?
says if I see no important level, I don't scale.
What if I did there's 3, I take 2 off at +3, and I take
Harlequin says stop as most often I would say 6 to 7 ticks.
Ugh. I thought that the E-mini was going to be a little bit more wiggly than that when I got into it, but now they're saying like, oh, Seth, nope, we're not going to go any lower for you. Sorry.
A mini trader says, is it a good idea to trade currency futures? What would be pros and cons? Any thoughts would help. Uzi Knesset says don't enter the position all at once. Scale into it within volatility parameters and exit it all at once.
Oh, whoops. That one, it got me into a position. That's funny. Sure. Okay. I'm trying to have the first
Luis
two at
Alarid says
3,
selling Audusty futures now.
which is a little bit less. Okay, so on the currency futures question, so there are some advantages to futures. One of the primary
Harlequin
being,
says and be more selective with your trades, for
Yeah, well,
instance, are
sure,
shorts
sure.
at the low of the session working out for you or mostly losses? And other things.
Yeah. I guess what I was trying to get at is, let's just say that my entries were random, or that my win rate is going to be less than 50%. Is kind of where I'm going. Anyways, so on currency futures, I mean, there's reasons to trade futures like tax reasons and things like that. One of the reasons that I really like to trade futures is because I can see the volume and I get better data. But in the currency futures, that stuff doesn't necessarily matter. I mean, yeah, you can see what other traders are taking in that market, but because you're not really the primary market in futures, the interbank spreads are, or the interbank trades that they make is the primary market in those. So you can't really glean a whole lot of information. In fact, if you try and follow the cumulative deltas and stuff like that you get from the currency futures, they can do really weird stuff. Like, it'll just move crazy hard against the cumulative delta. Sometimes it's really interesting.
Air Cages says, hey guys, hey Seth.
Hey, Air Cages.
How's it going? What did I miss? Are we rich yet?
Not yet.
Uzi Knesset says, look at that pukey puke above 09 dam.
Ooh, yes. And it's giving me a spike that I can take. Shall I? Oops. I clicked 2 times there. Okay. It's funny, I'm able to get 2 ticks of favorability there in the E-mini, but not 3. It hates me. For the fun of it. Oops.
JB says PM'd you in Discord.
Okay. Ideas go with, yeah. I'm just
Luis Alarid says crude doing well for black gold lovers.
just to be clear here with the E-mini, I am just
Gary
clicking.
Rich says depends on the range. If YM moves outside it, I add initially or scale in at various interval PTS. If I am wrong, I will dump fast.
That one
I'll take a
looks
lot
like
of
that's
small
not gonna
losses
work.
versus 1 or 2 big ones.
Look at them stack at 09.
Air Cages says Bitcoin is about to break up for you digital gold lovers.
Oh, look at them squeezing me. Why are they buying it up so hard? That's a little weird. Where's my... Where's my Twitter? Donald Trump tweeting, "There's no crime here. I just think this whole thing should be rejected. I wouldn't waste a minute of taxpayer dollars or time on this. Laughing. Entertaining this impeachment is a joke," says Laura Ingram. Donald Trump retweeting her, or quoting her, rather. Okay, so I got the 2. Ah, look at that. I don't move my stop at all. That might work. Where did I take my short at? Oh, wait, half? I'm going to try it again, okay? I don't like, doubling down on them or anything, but no. We're done. I forgot about that. Okay, so here now it's like I can let it run, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 would be more than what I get on the loser, but only by a tiny bit. That would be a little better. That would be 1.5 times what I get on my loser. I see a lot of people on the news trying to poo-poo the trade deal, and I'm just kind of sitting here like, who cares? We got a deal. That's all that matters, right? Some people
Gary Rich says, what time frames are you looking at?
What time frames are you looking at? For
Air Cages says poo poo.
I think that for my trading that I probably need to keep my time frame. I mean, it absolutely has to be less than 2 hours, but probably 30-minute time frames, right?
Uzi Knesset says pile of poo.
I just think it's so funny that they continue to be
says
like,
1 hour, 15 minutes, 4 hours.
The trade deal, it's no good. It's an awful trade deal. And I'm sitting here like, who cares as long as they're not talking and
Air
threatening
Cages
about
says, are we
tariffs.
talking about Shiat?
Oh, this is a really whippy ES market, by the way. That makes me mad. That trade in the 10-year was totally right on. I was just early to it. I could have been a little bit more patient on it, and I would have gotten that one. Like, I could have sold it at 09 half. But I got in when they were excited, and then the guy pulled the flipper on us. I could have waited for that to come up and then taking it short at like 09. Okay, so that one worked, and I made what? $20 on it. It went 9 ticks.
Air Cages says, have you ever tried live streaming on Facebook? I see random people getting thousands of live viewers.
That's a good question, Air Cages. So I was multi-streaming, right? Multi-streaming to Twitch, and I kind of eventually didn't stopped doing it because I found that everybody would come into YouTube and not into Twitch. And like when we were live streaming, it was like everybody just could see that we were multi-streaming and went to the platform that everybody was on. And the people that we did attract from Twitch, just from being on the platform, were people that were kind of trolly and didn't really help the channel a whole lot. I know there's a couple of you guys did come from Twitch, but there was more trolling than there was people coming in. And so I kind of said, I think I should just stream it for YouTube. And when we started doing that and we started changing up the title every day and all that sort of stuff, it worked way better. And we've been getting more views on the streams, especially on replay, because of that. Could I go back and try multi-streaming it to Facebook? I think I could. If I could stream it as my page, would want to be able to stream it as my page. I don't know. I mean, we don't necessarily want thousands of live viewers. 100 would be nice, but thousands is not necessarily good, right? Disappointed in that last trade in the treasuries because I was I could have made it a winner, but I made the mistake of getting in too early, picking the wrong price. And I should have known that 08 half being so close to the VWAP and everything else like that, that was a bad spot to try and get it to hold for 2 ticks. Then there was that. It was like 2
Air Cages
bars
says,
after.
the more the merrier. Bring on the unwashed masses.
Well,
Gary Rich says, I draw the HL midpoint on 15, 5, 1 minute charts and wait for breakouts. I will not take a trade of less than 10 points on YM. If I can't get 10 or more, I wait.
if you can't get 10 or more, I wait. So, I mean, that's appealing to me. But the problem that I've had on the E-mini is I can see the potential, but then it doesn't go or it takes too long. You know what I mean? So, like, I can see the potential that if they are able to hold above 33.0775, that they could push higher, and I think that they could make it at least to 33.10, like Algo Lover was talking about earlier. But of course, it could come back down here again first. Ugh. Let's check Restream here and see. I think that they can connect to Facebook, right? Restream.io.
Air Cages says, you probably couldn't do the live message reads with over 100 viewers though.
Certainly would not, yeah. That's where I was saying that if we really got to that point, I think what I would want to do is have I'm sorry, I'm like, my brain is so scatterbrained today. Um, a special room in Discord that, in some way, to limit the number of people that are in that room, so that we would still get a good stream for that. And then what I could do is I could use you guys to help me filter the messages, right? Oh, actually, you know what? We could do it that way. I could expand the reader into an app, and you guys, if somebody said something that you thought was good and worth reading, you could all vote or somehow put it into the queue, and then it would show me that, oh, hey, everybody thinks that this is a comment that you should read out and respond to. I mean, honestly, even with 100 viewers, I think we would probably be able to manage it. Depends on how active people are, you know. If you have 100 viewers, I mean, think about it right now. Like, we tend to have, how many do we have right now? I wouldn't expect to have as too many today. Oh, actually, we're at 31. Hey, thank you guys for watching, because I feel like awful, but you're all here every day, no matter what. Anyways, so we got about 30
Gary
people
Rich
watching.
says yes. S can be a great scalp. When it's in a tight range of say 2 points, I will make mistakes. I know my own weaknesses.
So we can have about 30 people, but like there's like what, 5 of you actively speaking that come in and speak like every day. So if there's 100 people in there and maybe 20 of them are talking, would that really, I mean, obviously the reader would be going off all the time, but maybe I just have the reader for me, or I don't know, something like that. I mean, the reader thing originally did start for me so that I can read your messages without having to take my eye off of the DOM. I'm still mad that I missed that. I screwed up that trade in the 10-year. So I had one that worked. I had one that, well, not one that worked per se. I had one that I caught, and I had one that I screwed up. But both signals were good signals, if you were able to manage them correctly. I think on that one, I probably puking at 09.5 was the right thing, because otherwise I probably would have gotten the slippage. They were clearly going to squeeze me out one way or another. 10K at 07.5. Interesting. Although we still don't really know why we moved up there like that, do we? And it was not really correlated with anything that was going on in equities or on Twitter. I guess just some guys getting stopped out. It kind of looks like the E-mini wants to push back down again. Anyways, back here. So I think I can come in here and I can add. Okay. Oh. Well, let's try connecting Facebook to it. It looks like I wouldn't be allowed to do it without upgrading. Oh. Streaming to public pages and groups is a paid feature. Upgrade now. And how much is the upgrade? $19 a month. Boo. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. So I think the answer, Air Cages, is no. Plus, you would get additional delay.
Uzi Knesset says Zuckerkick needs your $20.
Oh, it's not Zucker. It's Restream.io. So whoever owns that. To remove Restream's branding, you have to pay $50 a month.
Air Cages says that's poo poo.
Yeah. One time I thought it was $9 a month. So, okay, so I can pay for it yearly, and that brings it down to $15 a month. I still don't think that that's worth it. Well, if it came in, let's just say, for instance, that streaming live to Facebook gave us double the viewers, then over a year, well, I don't know, you don't get ads on Facebook, do you? So I don't know. I don't know if it would end up being worth it or not. By the way, let's check here in the E-mini now. Okay. Okay. But then, did we also get them on here? Yeah. 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 It seems to me like the 30-second bars are better.
Air Cages says you can now get monetized on Facebook. Not sure how though.
Yeah, so let's just go to Facebook itself. What if I'm just streaming directly to it? Oh, my little sister gave me pineapple on pizza. This is the way. No, no! Oh my gosh! Oh, my little sister. Let me show you this image. This is what she sent me. This is what she sent me. No, 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 no. Heresy! This is heresy. This is heresy. Okay. How do I get to pages? Pages. Here we are. Create live. And then what does it do? It wants to use my camera. No.
Harlequin says some people consider pineapple on pizza a war crime. I like them.
I'm not a fan of pineapple on pizza.
Air Cages says pineapple and pizza.
I was thinking about the long... you know what? I should have been paying attention. Because I was spiking up there and I said, maybe it'll turn. Pretty good trade. I would have to call that. It should retrace this a bit though. Maybe here or here.
Gary Rich says, Seth, why don't you stream live on cam model sites? Laughing so hard. JB says you like the 30-second bars because you have the attention span of a gnat ant.
No. So what? I think you missed what the other chart was, JB. So here's this one, and here's this one. Okay, they're similar. They're similar. This one is a 10-second bar. All right, these ones are 10-second bars. This one actually gave overextension before it came down into the bottom, whereas in this one, it is literally at the bottom.
Harlequin says go for 1 second chart.
And here it showed it pretty good there on the 30, but then does it show it on the 10? It does. There's some advantages to the 10 because I do get more
Gary
detail.
Rich says look at those opportunities to scalp on those 10 seconds bars.
It does give me signals. Well, both of them give me signals, and I can see a little bit more on the 10-second bar. I guess the difference
JB
is...
says better still, try a 1 tick chart.
The difference is that it's so close like that. With the 30-second bar, I can see more of it. That seems to be the difference. This, I get a little bit more detail on where exactly the aberration happened. This one, I can see more of the chart and it looks cleaner. Does it give signals in the E-mini though? One. Well, you could potentially consider that one. That's one. That's one. I'd say it does. That one was a fishy move though. That was pulling. Oh, did I take? Oh, that's right. I said this should come back a little bit. Let's take a look. Oh, so this one I am scaling into it.
Gary Rich says practice and drill on those 30 seconds or 10 seconds bars in sim. It will help your entry and exits over time. Trust me.
Probably will. I think that I've taken a lot of trades too where they didn't have, where I wasn't doing that. Maybe I should just focus on just that signal in the E-mini for now. We've designed a new way to go live on Facebook. Try the pre-release version for an updated way to connect and interact. Okay, try Live Producer. Live Producer. Use a
Air Cages
persistent
says
stream
McGregor
key.
or Cowboy. Who you got?
Can I stream to 2 platforms without restream? OBS stream multiple platforms without restream. Planned. Try restream as a supplement. Settings.
Gary Rich says I want the underdog Cowboy.
Huh. Funny that this one didn't get filled.
Harlequin says 3 minutes for the news of the day. Prepare your seatbelts. Natural gas inventory's gonna change everything. Garlicoin is gonna rise after that.
Oh man. So the next thought was, what if I scale in?
Air Cages says thank God Gary someone knows what I was talking about, lol.
Right? So they were saying the way you would scale in is like if I got 10 ticks and then I got another signal, and as long as that wouldn't move my break even point to below where the stop is for the second one, then I'm okay. I did that one time and it worked out really well. But that was a good move. Okay, so there's one point. So if I took it again,
JB says if you're going to try scaling in, you're going to have trade something that moves, not your beloved 10-year snail's pace ballbuster.
oh yeah, I don't think it would work on the 10-year, no. I feel, I could be wrong about this, of course, but I personally think that I have a good enough feel on the 10-year that I can just be all in and all out. And that if I'm going to take multiple contracts, that I'm going to scale in on them based on how confident I am in the individual trade. You know what I mean? Okay, so here, now if I took it, it would put my stop, it would be break even, would be right here.
JB says it might work on the 10-year if you want to put on a position for a month or a year. Harlequin says at JB, I believe snails are considered faster than the 10YR.
Than the 10YR. Why did she say the 10YR? That's funny. If you put it as 10 with a lowercase YR, does it do it? Oh, I'll try it.
Speculator Seth says 10-year. Gary Rich says, Seth, can you bring up a 30 seconds chart on the 10 years?
You really want a 30-second chart on the 10-year?
JB says agree at Harlequin and they're not a slimy.
Sure.
Air Cages says, when are you going to top up your trading account and get back to business? New year, new Seth.
You know what, Air Cages? Number one, I think that there's three things going on here, right? One is that I've been struggling. We're doing better in the 10-year this week, but we've been struggling. Okay, we'll admit that. Number two is that I would have to put more money in, and I can do that, but at the moment I'm kind of saving up to just make sure that I don't, because my wife's not working right now. And that brings us to number three, which is really a big one, which is that I'm going to have a baby on the 15th of November. And I'm not very confident that I can trade very effectively, for the first 6 months of that. I'm still going to stream. Ain't nothing going to stop me from streaming. I heard some people that were going like, oh, yeah, I don't have results because I had a baby. And it's like, okay, but you completely disappeared. I would never just completely disappear. Couldn't handle it. So I'll still be here.
Does your wife know you're having a baby?
She does. She's actually the one that's having it. But it's really my baby because she has 3 already. Anyways, we will trade sim during that time. Because I'm probably going to be really tired and things are going to suck. Okay, so here's the one where it's like, okay, I caught one. I caught 8 points on it. It's having trouble
Air Cages
going
says,
further.
all I hear is excuses. Go get it and dominate RAAAAWR.
No.
Gary Rich says a baby in November, that's 10 months away lol.
No,
JB
not November.
says, wow, a mini Seth. IQ says ZP made U-turn close to 61% retracement 158 to 16.
But not in November. February 15th. So less than 4 weeks. It's close. Of course, when the baby comes, I will show you
Air
guys.
Cages says Seth is already planning 2 babies ahead. That risk management lol. Harlequin says, please don't corrupt your baby by trading the 10-year.
Oh, it totally am.
JB says, I guess technically a micro Seth to begin with.
As soon as that child eyes have developed enough to see a screen, they're joining us. I'm hoping that when I wake up, oh my gosh, these are the dumb private thoughts that you have. I'm thinking, oh, dad will wake up and then baby will wake up, and so mom will have to wake up, and then mom will want to go back to sleep, so then I will have to take the baby with me to the start of the stream. I'm thinking that what might be what happens. And so then baby will be able to watch. But that's good, right? We can get that when the brain is most plastic to be able to get in the mode of training. They could be, if they choose, they'll have a good basis. I want to get the other kids too, but I think I'm going to wait until they're 14. I think I'm going to wait.
Gary Rich says take your profits and hire a nanny.
Oh,
Harlequin says Seth wakes up and sees baby trading Forex with AlgoBox.
No. baby would not be foolish enough to spend thousands of dollars on a software package that you can get for less. And yeah, I should
JB
just
says
stop
you'll
now.
burn out babies' retinas with those monitors of yours.
Yeah, that might be true. Well, now what is it with screens? I'm not looking for screens
Eric
isn't
Aegis
good
says
for
sign
your
up your
eyes,
baby
right?
to Top Step Trader Day 1.
Eric Aegis, stop.
JB says like a daily sun stare for him, her.
Well, maybe it's good. I mean, it's going to be interesting what their eyes are like. I have pretty blue eyes. Not pretty blue eyes, but my eyes are very blue. Well, they're kind of aquish. I don't know.
JB says no screens are bad for your eyes.
My wife has green. Straight
Harlequin
green.
says and baby passes the Top Step evaluation.
So what's the kid gonna get? It's probably gonna get pretty vibrant eyes. But I have really big bug eyes, right? I can really pop them out.
JB says especially small screens like phones, tablets.
Yeah. But I was under the impression that the problem with screens was looking at something so close for an extended period of time and not necessarily the light coming from it. But, I mean, radiation comes off of that,
JB
right?
says you just scared my dog.
With my bug eyes? I still feel kind of nauseous. I think it's just my stomach. I'm looking here and trying to figure out why.
Harlequin says, by the way, weren't you going to make a video about Top Step Trader?
Well, so I've been sick, so I haven't made all the videos that I want to make. I actually recorded it. So what happened was I had one day where during the holiday, and I recorded a bunch of stuff, and then I went. In fact, I can show you. I can totally show you. I think I still have them. So I made one about like about a trading computer. No, that's not what I want. Oh, I didn't copy them over. Never mind. Maybe I can't show you. No, I didn't copy them over. They're on the camera still. Anyways, I didn't have the camera focused very well. So yeah. So here was on that one, I was like, well, maybe they're going to stay in the range, and they continued. Okay, but that's okay, because that's a stop run. We can see if they come back to here. Oh, actually, it's 8:37. It doesn't matter. It's time for us to go soon. Anyways, so I made the video and it was blurry, and then so I was going to re-record it, and then at that point I became sick and I couldn't even speak. And the past like 2 days or so has been the first time that I even feel like
Gary
I can
Rich says,
speak
Seth,
well.
do you not like Top Step, or is the video just a basic review?
The video was basically going to be the things that I had said about Top Step before. Okay, so they come back in through there, that's bad. So no trade. Anyways. Right?
Eric Cages says your eyes are 5E6366 hex color. This is within the family of gray colors.
Family of gray colors? Wait, let's go look. I don't think that the camera catches it very well, unfortunately. No, it's not. Doesn't catch it very well. There's more color to it than that with the... We have to get like way up there in the camera. Here, I'll do this. Okay. What was I? All right, I'm so distracted. Oh my gosh. Like every time you guys leave a comment, like I want to address that comment instead of what I was going on.
Lol lol.
anyways, but my main point with Top Step was that you can totally just trade micros. I don't know though. I'm having trouble with micros, so I don't know. Oh, you're right. It is gray. I mean, that looks accurate to me.
JB says what the...
That looks accurate to me. So I guess my eyes are gray. Just like everything else. Like my hair is like a charcoal gray. Ash color. I mean, it's the same color as my beard essentially now. My beard used to have a little bit more reddish in it, but now it's all grayish. Just a dull platinum color. So it's blonde.
JB says I guess it's all downhill here after hump day. Harlequin says Holy Mother of God. Kill it. Kill it with fire. Air Cages says lol it's official.
Official. I bet you the baby will have green eyes. The question is, are they going to have my eye shape or my wife's?
Live Action says microcurrency I know exist, but do the micrograins still offered? That might be something to look at.
Yeah, or micro ES. I mean, the thing is, here's the thing. The vast majority of people out there trying to trade and trying to do the Top Step Combine are trading equity futures anyways. They're trading ES anyways. So why wouldn't you just go and do MES? Why wouldn't you just do micros? It's a way better deal than the Combine, in my opinion. And the issue I have with the Combine remains that the profit target is aggressive and teaches you bad habits. Because everybody's trying to be aggressive to take the target. And you get these guys...
says crude is mega popular and there is no real micro.
Yeah, if
Air
there's
Cages
crude...
says all babies have blue eyes and ears.
If crude was had a micro future, and I know that there's that one, but if there was a real micro future for crude, then there really wouldn't be any reason to trade Top Step.
Gary Rich says I do a lot of micro stuff, but it's in grams. Oh, I'm a bad boy.
But that kind of goes back to my contention.
Harlequin says same
here,
for
right?
most other commodities like gold, copper, natural gas, soybeans, and so on.
If you are a new trader, Combine is not for you. If you are a profitable trader and you know that you are profitable and you need more money to trade and you want to trade oil, then the Combine is maybe for you. But keep in mind, the target is aggressive and you probably shouldn't trade so aggressive once you actually get an account. And I have seen people, I was watching a video of a guy just the other day, in fact, that he has a YouTube channel and he has been he has passed the Combine and been funded
Air Cages
and then
says
lost
what if you're
it
a newborn trader?
3 times. He's been funded and lost it 3 times. Top Step, which means he got through the Combine and he got through the introductory
Seth
period.
will be learning all about those around this time next year.
Can you believe that? So I say there's a problem with it that you got to be aware of. And the reason why I want to make this video is because...
Harlequin says better than lose your own money though.
Not if you're just
Gary
losing
Rich says
$100.
Top Step might help those who need structure by a firm. Nothing wrong with that.
Maybe, but if you need structure, we can help you with that, right? There are ways to do that with community. If there was people that came in and said, "Hey guys, I want help with structure. We can give you, your daily risks and things like that." That's not a huge thing. I don't know. But the reason why I want to make the video, other than just that was like the most popular video on my channel, is that I really think that Top Step needs to change their model now that micros are around. I think that they should try and change their service to something that you pay $20 to $50 a month, and you get something that even if you don't want to be funded would be worth having.
Gary Rich says I've been trained and mentored by a few great traders like Boris Schlossberg in Forex.
I honestly, I would be willing to pay $20 a month to talk to Danny once a month. I'd be willing to pay $20 to $50 a month if I got a solid news feed out of it. That sort of a thing. And I think that they should restructure around that instead of
Vincenzo C says I'm not a Top Step fan.
Yep, instead of on the combine. Because with micro futures, I just really do not believe that the value is there for the vast majority of traders, especially new traders. I'm not saying that there's nobody that has any business doing it or anything like that, but for the vast majority of people, it's probably not worth it. You're probably not going to pass it, and you could have put that money into micro futures. I mean, it's like $150, right? You can trade 3 contracts on micros with that.
Live Action says reminds me Axia's elite trader I was told mainly watches order flow with key levels on 60 meters.
Yeah. I wish I could see more about the Axia guys' performance, because they seem to be successfully doing what I want to do. And
Gary
I know
Rich
you
says
can
not
be
everyone can do
successful
it
with
on
it.
their own. You have to crawl before you run.
Nope. Oh, that's gonna close down anyways. Not that I don't find it, well, I would prefer that we not talk about other people. Here's the thing. Can we go into this? Without naming names, even though obviously we all know what I'm talking about. Or most of you guys know what I'm talking about. Our channel has been targeted, like literally targeted, and quite frankly, they have been making videos and doing things that are very much against YouTube terms of service. I don't know why they haven't removed those videos, because there is no question that they are against YouTube terms of services in terms of harassment and bullying. No question about it. No question about it. Now, if we start talking about them and we start doing, things, and then you're just doing the same thing back and you're giving them attention. And so it's my preference that we just never talk about individual people, because that just helps them, So, yeah, I would prefer that we just not joke about it. Because then what they're going to do is they're going to turn around and they're going to say, oh, no. They're the ones that are harassing us. And then when you try and go to YouTube or any other authority and try and prove that they're doing bad things, they just see it as an interpersonal dispute instead of one guy that is completely off his rocker and should be banned. You get what I'm saying? So, what happened? Somebody is posting videos. Oh yeah, okay. Just I mean, you can see the name there, because that's the guy that Harlequin is talking about. He made like 11 hours of video about us, and some of the things, and especially in the first video, absolutely is harassment. Like, he was denigrating my appearance and calling me and the Discord names. And I mean, there's like, YouTube specifically has rules. Like, they updated their terms of service here in November specifically for those things, and they're in the video. We reported the video. They haven't taken it down. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, it was absolutely harassment. And I know that, yeah, Harlequin says, wait, does this count as harassment? It was just this small joke talk about snowflakes. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but when I don't know. Like, I feel like that we just have to be the absolute most cautious that we can. So I give you another example here, just while we're thinking about it. I was talking to a guy just yesterday that they got banned from Discord. And the reason that they got banned from Discord was that they were in a cryptocurrency channel. And that cryptocurrency channel, apparently somebody like got doxxed or something. So this individual, the only violation that they made was being in that server. They never said anything. They never did anything that was wrong. They claimed that that people were making alt accounts and doxing people with alt accounts, but he did not engage in that behavior. But Discord says that the people on that server that they were, and so he got banned. Meanwhile, this other Discord that we're talking about straight up doxed somebody. They posted a link that had that person's personal address, information about them. Now, of course, this person had a criminal history, and there's the whole thing about that kind of makes it kind of. But the fact is, they posted his address. Discord didn't do shit about it. And this is not the first time that this has happened. It has been a persistent, persistent, what is the word? Pattern. It has been a persistent pattern of behavior coming from that place, and Discord doesn't do anything about it. They'll like ban somebody, and then they just come back with an alt account, and nothing changes. It's ridiculous. This person, they get banned for doing nothing. And then these guys, they're doing all the craziest stuff that they can for a year and a half now. Discord doesn't do anything about it. And so my take on it is that we just have to be the absolute most cautious that you can about it, because Discord just doesn't have the manpower to come in and investigate this issue and really understand what's going on. And even though it might be a big deal to us, it's not a big deal to them. And so, we have to be on our absolute best behavior and not even be joking about this sort of stuff, guys, so that when it inevitably happens again, and who knows, maybe they'll make a video just because we're saying this stuff. But if it happens again, so that they don't have any way that they can possibly go in and say, well, but these guys were making fun of us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Lucas, maybe we just need to trade. You're right. Well, I mean, and that's what I want to do. I just want to trade. Like, he can say whatever bullcrap that he wants. The video should be taken down because they're lies and it's harassment and bullying. But I'm just going to continue trading and doing my thing, and they can say what they want. But I'm just bringing it up now because we keep joking about it, and I know that you guys mean well, but I would just prefer that we not joke about it, okay? Because we need to be on our best behavior. We're not going to engage in any of that stuff, all right? Everything that we keep is factual, and we're just not going to talk about them. Can't we just discuss trading? Yeah. We are. I mean, we're going to keep it focused, but I'm just saying, do not joke about other rooms. We can talk about like, okay, there's scam like this in the industry. There's scams like this in the industry. That's talking about trading, and I think that those are good things to talk about. But let's not use names. And when we talk about things, let's not make it like a joke or anything like that. It should be factual and serious. All right? Gotcha. So he's like Voldemort, the one who shall not be named. Yeah. Sure. I mean, anybody, when we're talking about them in a negative light, I think that it's best to not use names. If we're going to do that, then it needs to be like a well-researched video. By the way, this is my well-researched video, very serious, and And then has all of the bases covered. Hit it or quit it. Darn, I was just going to talk about that guy. Many things that could be said. I tell you what, there's a lot of rooms out there. And I just think it's so funny that so many people are willing to pay hundreds of dollars to be able to sit and chat with people. Because a room is not going to give you an edge. It's just not. Guess Democrats are now off the table. You can talk about public figures all you want. But like other people on YouTube, no. Let's not engage in that. This is going okay. They came down there hard. How much should I be able to expect off of these? 12? Excuse me. 8:55. I might just have to close this one. Let's go and get the cryptocurrency notes. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I could see the future. I didn't even see Harlequin's, I didn't even read the whole joke before I went off on that rant about let's not do that sort of joke. I'm so sorry to call it, to single you out like that, Harlequin. I have to say, after doing all that, Harlequin has been one of the best viewers that we have. He's always has some of the funniest stuff to say, and he's had useful trading stuff to say too. And I really like him, and I'm glad. And I didn't mean to call him out like that, but it's just like a thing that I'm really sensitive about right now, because I don't want to give anybody any reason to try and come after us or anything like that. You can't give them any reason to try and report things or whatever it is, right? Like, we have to be on our best behavior so that when we report other people that are engaging in bad behavior, that there's no issues, that they can't turn it into a he said, she said sort of a thing, right? That's all that was about. Anyways. I beg to differ on making money from trade rooms. I'm not saying they're not bad ones, but, well, yeah, that might be true. I mean, I guess that my thing is, I always go back to, like, the market changes, I think you kind of have to take a little bit of a Kylo Ren view on it, right? You have to let go of the past, kill it if you have to, because that's the only way that you can become what you're meant to be. Like, what happened yesterday in the markets is not what's going to happen today. It's always changing. And the only thing that matters is the influences in the market that makes you think that it's overvalued or undervalued right now at this time. And that's it. Now, there can be people in rooms that are good and are able to do that all the time. But the issue I take with rooms is that people want to just follow this other person's trades, and that's not going to work. Too many people start following the trade, and it's going to destroy the edge. So I would much rather a room be about working together and having camaraderie and structure and sharing ideas and developing edges, but not necessarily about following trades. Yeah? If there are other rooms out there that you pay for that do that, then fine. I don't know what they are. Where are we in Bitcoin today? 8,700. How much would you pay to be trained and become profitable in a year? It's a good question, Gary. I mean, if I was trying to value a service, I think that something where you were given personal attention every day, and they were doing it for a year, could potentially be worth several thousands of dollars, right? But I don't know if I personally would pay that. I think that I want to figure it out on my own. I don't know. But I reject this notion that you can just pay somebody to educate you and then in a year you'll be profitable. I think that that's nonsense. I think that you pay somebody, you can learn a lot, and it can definitely help you along the way, but you're still going to have to do all of the work. And when I say the work is not just sitting in front of the screen and clicking, but actively tracking trades, learning about the market and why the market is doing what it's doing, and doing studies to verify if your theories about the way the market works are correct, and that sort of a stuff. And nobody can teach you that. Nobody can do that work for you. You know what I mean? 5,000 divided over 12 months equals less than one spends on silly stuff? I don't know. Like, I feel like if I had $5,000 divided over 12 months, that I would rather put it into my trading account. You know? I don't know. Hit it or quit it. I created a trading discussion group in the early 2000s. Yeah. I find it interesting that we actually are one of the larger chat rooms out there. We're one of the larger rooms. There used to be a lot of big rooms back in the day, like IRC and things like that, but they just kind of died out and they got taken over by paid rooms. Yeah, we all donate to the market. Yeah. Redistribution. I mean, this is the other issue, right? Is that you can't treat it like, if you are educated with the correct education, then you will be profitable. No. If everybody in the market went out and got that same education, the failure rate of day traders would still be the same. It would still be about 90% people lose, because that's just how good you have to be in that winning percentage. And if there was like some education that was really, really good, then everybody else gets that, and then it no longer has edge, and you would have to go and find some other thing that gives you that extra little edge to put you in that 10%. Some people need that personal attention by those who are making real money. It's an investment in one's education. Well, I'm not saying it can't help, but I guess let me rephrase or clarify. There is absolutely no education out there that you can take that you're going to go and see a majority of the students taking it that are making money. Certainly not one that is popular. I've heard a number of pros say the same thing Seth just said. You have to put the time in. Yes, because it's a competitive market. You have to understand more about the market than everybody else. And how are you going to do that? If it's an education system that's so great, then everybody would take it. And then it wouldn't have that edge. Clearly have a bias based on the retards of terrible rooms and courses. Well, it's not just that, but one, there's a fundamental problem there's a fundamental issue here that kind of prevents the education alone from giving you the edge. One. Two, Where's this education that's like that? I don't see it. The best education from what I've been looking through, the people that seem to be teaching the stuff that people need to know, and maybe some stuff that I don't know and I wish I did, is Axia. And they look like they're doing it. But I don't think that everybody that takes the Axia course is just automatically profitable. They're going to have a certain failure rate. You know? And I'm going to bet that the majority of people that take it probably still fail. The only difference when you take the education is that you're just out $5,000 more than the people that didn't do that. So I say, save your money, put in all of the work. When you have confirmed that you have an edge, then put your money at risk. It takes some time. Some get it right away, and some take years period. Yeah, it's probably true too. SMB Future has a program as well. I really like the free videos of this Merritt guy. He is head of futures department, and he has some really good videos regarding crude oil. Okay. Let's buy all the black box system. Oh, and that's the one that drives me crazy the most. Is like, hey, I have this really great system, this really great indicator. Oh, I can't tell you how it works. So you're supposed to trade it without actually understanding why it works. So how are you supposed to understand when it works and when it doesn't and why it works and all that sort of stuff? Now, why would anybody trade that? Oh, I just, ugh. And yet many people do. What if you keep doing the wrong thing for years? How do you know if you don't know? Well, everybody's going to be doing something wrong, right? So, yeah, again, didn't say that education can't be useful. Okay, John says, stepping away, but question. What if you could make $300 in your first month and $600 in your second month and $150 per month room? Ooh, that was an ugly sell there in the treasuries. Would you pay for that? Alex, are you using an automated strategy? No, I'm not. Hey, I just met you and this is crazy. Buy my black box system and call me maybe. Yeah. Oh man, I wish I was short the treasuries, but you know what? This is what it is. We were taking the short up there, but I was just a little bit early. It's okay. I actually could have taken another one down there, but you see that where it's when it's like within a range, you don't necessarily know which way to take it, so you ignore it. So there's two questions. I'll answer Alex's question first because he's new. Okay. I do not use an automated strategy. I am of the opinion that there is no automated strategy that you can take that is going to work for, month after month on end. And you just trade that automated strategy and it works. It doesn't exist. If that, it doesn't exist. There are people out there that claim that they have that sort of a thing. And when you really look deeper at it, what you're going to find is that those systems are taking very, very small trades and enormous risk to take them. And at some point, those systems will just completely blow up. And I've seen ones where like it was working for like 9 months or even over a year before it blew up. But then when it blows up, it's like it loses everything within a few days. And then they just say, oh, it was a platform error, or, I was being dumb, or, they'll blame it on something else. They'll do everything to avoid admitting that this system just actually doesn't work. And because it's such an aberration when the bad time happens, it's really easy for them to blame it on something else instead of that it was the actual system. So I prefer to take the trades myself. I feel like that's an advantage that I have, is the discretion. So when I do find things that I think that I can automate, I will make something that will give me a notification and tell me exactly what to do, but I still have to click it. Is the way that I tend to do it. Okay, so if you could make $300 in your first month and $600 in your second month and $150 per room, would you pay for that? I think, if you knew that you could make money off of it, then sure, it would be worth it. I don't think that exists. I don't think that there's anywhere that has verified results that good that everybody in the room made this much money and, here's our track record and all of that sort of a thing. But then the second thing that you got to remember is that just because they did that last month doesn't mean that they're going to do it next month, right? Because that was the whole thing that got us started on this, right? So what's in the past is in the past. And past performance is not indicative of future results. They put it in the... Man. I mean, they make everybody put it in the disclaimers. It's like we just don't seem to believe it or something. Why are you so negative on stuff? Well, you don't think it exists, but you don't really know that. Well, I would say that if it existed, we probably would not know about it. Because any room that was popular, the edge would get ruined by it being popular, right? So if there was such an edge, it would be unlikely that we would be told about it. Or if we did, it would be like maybe one person here knows about it and they're in the room and they make money, but it's a super small room and there's maybe only like a dozen people and they don't tell anybody about it. It would be like an exclusive club, That's the way that it would work. This whole thing that it's like you can have this edge that everybody knows about and everybody's making money off of, it's not possible. It's not possible. And that's why it's never happened. And there are plenty of edges that maybe at one time they were really, really good, and then everybody else found out about them, like technical analysis. And then they're no longer edges, but they actually kind of become bare minimum. Like, you need to know about that thing probably to be successful, but you're going to have find your own edge on top of that. That sort of a thing. I would take the risk and pay for it for 3 months. I can see something that I may not know. I'm open-minded about that stuff. I'm not talking about an edge. I was only talking about a scenario where a room was formed where you could make money shortly after you joined the room. I mean, it's possible. I didn't say that you should never pay for a room, but just that most people are expecting something out of the room that they're not going to get. Yeah. I mean, so like Gary Rich is saying, I might see something there that I might not know, and I'm open-minded about it. And if you're willing to pay that much for it, then cool. Because it probably would be useful. Will you make your money back? That's questionable, but you know what? From what I'm told, or from what he's told us at least, it sounds like Gary Rich is much more successful at this than I am. And he probably has the money that he can afford to put it on those sorts of things. I'd still be, there are some things, like if somebody's offering a software package for $5,000, probably just a scam. And you can kind of tell based, like, if they're really asking more than the thing is worth, then you know that they're making money off of the foolishness of other people and not necessarily because it works. It's a sad day when you can't learn something new. Yeah. But that kind of goes to this other thing, which is like, why does it need to be $150 in a month if that's what you're supposed to be getting out of it, The SMB Black Room costs about $75 a month, and that would be the only one I would consider entering because I like their content, but I rather trade my own stuff. Okay. Yeah, I think, okay, so like, let's just say, for instance, that we had a really good track record of like 5 years under our belts. All right. And we were profitable in all 5 of those years. And I wanted to create a trade room at that point, a paid trade room. How much would I charge for it? I don't think I would charge more than $100. I feel like that $100 is my limit at which um, you're asking too much of people. Like they're expecting to make a ton of money off of it, and you can't guarantee that. But I also think that there's a lot of things that trade rooms could provide people that they don't. Like the thing that really irks me right now is how expensive a newsfeed is, man. When you trade well, people will search you out and beg you to trade their money. Trust me. Yeah. Well, I would much rather trade my own money. I don't think I want to manage other people's money. Oh man, it's frustrating. This goes back to another thought that we've been having, which is like, does streaming things ruin the edge to some extent? And I think that to some extent, probably yes, it does. Except for that we're not really popular enough for that to happen. But if we were popular and there was thousands of people in here, then I think it probably would. I think that I probably wouldn't be able to show people the trades anymore. Because of all of those reasons that we just discussed. I should have taken 8 on that, not 12. Wait till next month when the data fees and commissions go up at the CME. Yeah, but it's not that much more. I kind of wondering though what the deal is with that. Like they're not making enough money on it or something? They're not getting enough trades, so they need to make more money off of the data? What's with that? You would expect that over time that those would go down. I think that was a good trade entry there when we got long, but we should have taken the profits when it was +8, and we probably didn't get quite a good enough entry on it. Covering the cost of attrition. Yeah. Maybe. Because one of the things that I'm starting to realize recently is that we as retail traders kind of accept the reality as it is, right? Like, this is the data that's available. These are the products that are available, and they're available because that's the way that it is. But we don't sit there and say, well, hey, it's not fair that I can't see if I'm trading against Goldman Sachs that's who's trading against me. In the pit, you could see that. You can't see that online. It's not as open in that respect. And we just accept it, that that's the way that it is. But we don't realize that, hey, maybe we should talk about changing that. Or, it used to be you'd only get 10 levels of depth. And they never thought, oh, hey, maybe there's more data that we could get, that would improve our edge, things like that. Man, 03 half. Remember I called 03 half as the beginning of the week? Are they going to try and extend below that now? A pretty strong down move. Starting about 8 o'clock. This has been an hour. E-mini just going sideways. Anyways, I don't think that the change that they're making to the data fees is a whole lot. But it does kind of get frustrating when it's like, okay, so now it's going to be like $30. $30 for the data and $50 a month for your platform. Most of these platforms, like, man. And then you might be trading just to learn, and maybe you're not making money anymore. You're already spending all that, And then on top of that, we want to add a trade room or something like that. That becomes an expensive hobby. I wish there was better news feed though. Like the news feeds that there are out there right now are geared way too much towards like banks and stuff, and it's not really feasible for most retail traders because there's like a setup fee, and the amount if it's just you it's there should be a better option. I would pay $50 a month for it. Somebody starts a good squawk, $50 a month. That's what I'd like to see. You got to pay it for the software and tools. No free lunch anymore. Oh, yeah. And that's the thing is, you know that they're going to charge you for it if there was actually, you know. Oh, man. So we just got disconnected and reconnected. Do you think algos affect the volume profile in a bad way? No, it's just the algos are really good. I mean, that's really the long and short of it, isn't it? Algorithms are really good at what they do, and it's hard to compete with them. And there are some things at which we humans literally just cannot even hope to compete with them on. I have been trained by the best. Oh, that was something different. Blah. You scare me again. I'm in a position when you disconnected. Well, the thing that's funny is that my data doesn't disconnect. It's just like YouTube turns off for some reason. The algos hunt and seek and are great at hiding their tracks. Yeah. We got caught on that one. That trade at 8 o'clock, the treasuries, that was a very clear overextension. And what happened is we took it and then somebody squeezed it a little bit higher before letting it dump. Clever, right? No, you just want to collect their money before they lose it in the market. Well, it's about time that I get going. I guess I'm not going into work. I still feel gross. All right. And thereafter, you know, only talking about 5 seconds after being disconnected. Oh, look at that huge iceberg. Oh, man, I'm going to have to watch and see this. Look at that. At 04. Watch the VPro video on YouTube about the algos. Yeah, okay. But there was another point about the algos that I wanted to make. The algos changed. When I worked at Goldman, they were changing those algorithms all the time. And again, there's this idea out there in the retail trading world that there's just this one trick that you got to learn, and then forever you'll be a profitable trader. It's not true. It's not true. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Okay, so I've said about my piece on it. It's time for me to go. I will see you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, stay profitable.